Welcome to Gooner Reports, your go-to YouTube channel for daily Arsenal news, match analysis, transfer updates, and fan discussions. Whether it's breaking news from the Emirates, tactical breakdowns, or post-match reactions, we've got you covered. Mikel Arteta has refused to rule out dipping into the January transfer market, as Arsenal attempt to navigate a growing defensive injury crisis at a crucial point in the season. The Premier League leaders were stretched at the back against Brighton, with Declan Rice forced into emergency duty at right-back after Jurrien Timber and Riccardo Calafiori joined Ben White on the sidelines. Timber and Calafiori were both ruled out late, with Calafiori withdrawing during the pre-match warm-up, underlining the fragility of Arsenal's defensive depth. White has been unavailable since suffering a hamstring injury against Wolves on December 13th, with no definitive return date confirmed. While the injury is not considered long-term, it has left Arteta juggling options as Arsenal continue to compete on four fronts. Speaking about the prospect of January reinforcements, Arteta made it clear the club must remain alert. "I don't know," he said. "We're going to be really aware of the situation and the timescale of certain players. The window is there and we're Arsenal. We have to be looking at it." Okay, what do we need? We have to be actively looking. Whether we can do it or not is a different story, but our job is to be very prepared. Arsenal's summer spending approached £250 million, pushing Arteta's total investment close to £1 billion as he continues his pursuit of a first Premier League title since 2004. Big-name arrivals such as Kepa Arrizabalaga, Martin Zubimendi, Christian Nørgaard, Noni Madueke, Victor GYÖKERES, and Eberechi Eze significantly strengthened the squad, but also reduced opportunities for younger players like Ethan Nwaneri and Miles Lewis-Skelly. That depth was tested again at the weekend when Lewis-Skelly was required off the bench after Calafiori's late withdrawal. Gabriel Martinelli also entered the contest in the second half, as Arsenal adapted on the fly. Despite already having defenders Christian Mosquera and Piero Hincapié available on loan, Arteta acknowledged that another temporary addition in January remains a possibility, depending on injury timelines. "When you look across other clubs, they have 24 or 25 squad players," he added. "There's nothing especially different with our squad, but although we have more injuries than expected, some of them unavoidable, we know how important availability is in a season like this." Arteta also made it clear that Arsenal are unlikely to allow players to leave in search of game time, with short-term success taking priority. "We assess every situation," he said. "I leave much of that to Andrea, Berta, to understand what's happening in the market. Our focus is to get the best situation for the club." There was some positive news on the injury front. Gabriel Magalhaes made a surprise return from the bench against Brighton, his first appearance since suffering an adductor injury, while on Brazil duty last month. He is expected to be available to start against Aston Villa. Kai Havertz is also edging closer to a return after a knee injury, with Arteta describing his availability as a matter of days after the German returned to full training. Arsenal injury update: Riccardo Calafiori, muscular issue. Major doubt for the Villa game, after pulling out during the warm-up against Brighton. Season: late fitness test required. Jurrien Timber, knock. Missed Brighton after landing awkwardly in the EFL Cup. Remains uncertain. Gabriel Magalhaes returned from injury and expected to be available to start. Kai Havertz, knee, very close to a return, could feature against Villa. Ben White, thigh, out since mid-December, expected back early to mid-January. Christian Mosquera, ankle, targeting a mid-January return. Max Daumann, ankle, facing a long layoff, not expected back until early 2026. As Arsenal continue their title charge, Arteta's message is clear: preparation is everything. Whether that means trusting the depth already assembled or moving decisively in January may yet define the Gunners. There is a lot happening behind the scenes at the Emirates right now, and with January approaching fast, Arsenal's plans are starting to take shape. From attacking targets to defensive prospects to potential exits, this could be a very important transfer window for Mikel Arteta and Andrea Berta. Let's start with the big attacking name. Many reports are claiming that Antoine Semenyo has already chosen Manchester City as his next club. Some sources suggest City have moved ahead of Arsenal and Liverpool in the race for the Ghanaian forward. However, despite all the noise, nothing has been signed, nothing has been confirmed, and until that happens, the door is not closed. In fact, Arsenal are refusing to concede this race. According to Football Insider, Manchester City have not blown Arsenal away behind the scenes. The Gunners are still very much in the conversation and believe they can compete for Semenyo's signature. Arsenal still see him as a player who fits their system perfectly. Strong, direct, hard-working, and proven in the Premier League. In my opinion, Arsenal staying involved here makes total sense. Semenyo brings intensity, versatility, and physicality, all qualities Arteta loves. The concern, though, is financial. Arsenal spent heavily in the summer and will need to be smart in January. If the bidding gets aggressive, this one could be difficult to win. But sporting-wise, Arsenal absolutely makes sense for him. Now let's move to midfield and defence, and a very interesting young name. Arsenal are reportedly keeping a close eye on Aleksandar Stankovic at Club Brugge. The 20-year-old has impressed since joining from Inter Milan and is beginning to show the potential many expected. He can play in defence or midfield, and Arsenal scouts have been watching him regularly. According to L'Interista, Arsenal are keen to stay close to this situation and do not want another club to steal a march. Arteta loves versatile players, and Stankovic fits the profile perfectly. Technical, tactically intelligent, and still developing. This feels like a very Arsenal-type signing. One for the future, but also someone who could grow quickly in the right environment. Now let's talk about the goalkeeping situation. David Raya is firmly Arsenal's number one. His performances this season have been outstanding. Kepa Arrizabalaga was brought in as cover, but opportunities have been very limited. If that continues, Kepa may want more regular football. That's where Diant Ramage comes in. Arsenal are monitoring Ramage, currently on loan at Heidenheim from Borussia Dortmund. He is impressed with his composure and consistency, and at 24 years old, he fits Arsenal's long-term planning. This is not an urgent deal, but it shows Arsenal are always preparing for different scenarios. In my opinion, this is smart squad management. Stability in goal is crucial, especially for a team pushing for titles. Now, on to defence, and a name generating serious buzz. Arsenal are reportedly very interested in AC Milan left-back Davide Bartesaghi. The 19-year-old has taken advantage of Milan's injury crisis and made himself a regular. His performances have caught the eye across Europe. According to reports in Italy, Arsenal are especially keen, with some even saying the club are crazy about him. He is 6'5", strong in the air, dangerous at set pieces, and comfortable going forward. He recently scored 2 goals in a draw with Sassuolo, showing his attacking threat. Yes, Arsenal already have depth at left-back, but this club has shown time and time again that competition and long-term planning come first. Bartesaghi feels like another defender who could develop into something special under Arteta. Finally, let's talk about potential exits in January. 3 names stand out. Ethan Nwaneri has struggled for minutes despite signing a new contract. If game time does not improve, questions will be asked. Miles Lewis-Skelly has featured in Europe but not in the league. With a World Cup coming up, he will want regular football to stay in England contention. And then there is G.JESUS. Arsenal have reportedly offered Real Madrid the chance to sign him as a short-term option, but that move looks unlikely. Still, with his contract running down and interest growing, January could be decisive. In my opinion, this is a huge moment for Arsenal. Arteta needs silverware. Andrea Berta needs to be bold. January does not need to be dramatic, but it does need to be decisive. So Arsenal fans, I want your thoughts. Should Arsenal keep pushing for Semenyo? Would Bartesaghi be a smart long-term signing? And who do you think could leave in January? Drop your opinions in the comments.